Good morning, spokespeople. My name is Heath Sherritt, and welcome to TrailGuide. What's TrailGuide? TrailGuide is basically like you're hiring a local expert to tell you all the hot spots, where to park, where to pay, where the trail starts, how the trails get tech and tricky, and how to maneuver yourself through those situations. Where to get coffee in the morning, where to drink beer when you're done, and where to spend time with your friends to just remember all the awesome memories that you just made. Today we're in Auburn, California, and we're going to be taking you through what the crown jewel is up here, which is the Clementine Culvert Confluence Loop. Everybody meets down there at the kiosk, and we're going to be able to start there. We're going to take you through the loop. Doesn't matter if you've been here before or if you've never been here. We're going to show you our take on how to ride the lines, where the tricky stuff is, what to do to make it faster, and what to do to make it safer, depending on what you're looking for. That's why we're here. We're your local trail guide, and we're going to make your experience awesome. So let's go get geared up and get the day going. Okay, all right, we made it. We're here, we're at the Confluence. When people are coming up to the ASRA and they say, let's meet at the Confluence, this is the spot right here. We got a nice covered area with a picnic bench. You got the ranger kiosk, you got the bathrooms, garbage can, handicap parking. Oh, parking. Let's talk about parking because it's a little tricky here. Once you cross this bridge over here, like you're going to the Culvert Clementine Confluence Loop that we're gonna do today, you got about a quarter of a mile up that stretch past the bridge where that's all paid parking. From there all the way through to the Cool Bridge, that is paid parking. It's 10 bucks a day, or if you have the Poppy Pass, which we recommend on TrailGuide because that'll get you into any of the state parks and get you free parking for the day. Look that up, the Poppy Pass, that's a good way to go. If you're not gonna pay and you're gonna show up or you just forgot cash or whatever and you're like, oh no, what do I do? Well, good news. Across the Cool Bridge going up to the quarry parking lot, all of that is going to be free parking. You got to get here early to get the free parking because it generally fills up around 9 o'clock on the weekends. Although the quarry parking lot up there is another paid parking spot, so there is a lot of parking here. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about the trail that we're riding today. That's the Clementine Culvert Confluence Loop. It's about 7.1 miles, it has about 1,300 feet of climbing. It's pretty rugged, it's a pretty technical trail, even at the beginning and the start. Climb's pretty mellow, and the descent kind of starts with a little bit of a flow trail, cross over the road, drop down into Confluence, and Confluence is an old fire road. It was actually the old Forest Hill Road, and it's really technical. It's got a lot of rocks, and they're all pointing the wrong way. We're going to talk about bike setup, we're going to be talking about line choices, and we're just going to be talking about how to make it through this awesome loop without a flat, without a mechanical, and without like a crash, because there are some pretty treacherous areas with a lot of exposure on Confluence that could really end your day. So we're going to give you the trail guide expert advice to navigating all this stuff with proficiency and excellence. All right, let's go. So as we leave Confluence, we'll be going across the bridge. Please, no jumping from the bridge. On the weekdays, weekends, you're gonna have a lot of hiking traffic up here. Just, be careful, be courteous, always call out. Lots of dogs. Weekdays, it's pretty much locals. You'll have some folks come visiting, but for the most part, it's pretty chill here on the weekdays. Great time to ride. Weather's always really good here. Dirt's always really good here, except for rain. When you're visiting Auburn, you're gonna want to wait to, especially this loop, The Culvert Confluence loop. Confluence you can ride right after a rain. Culvert you cannot. Culvert turns into peanut butter, and because it's a mini flow trail, it has berms, and if you're riding those fresh after a rain, you're gonna ruin those berms. So we ask that you, good morning, we ask that you stay off the trails, especially Culvert, right after the rain. Give it about 4 or 5 days to dry out. Generally, I'm a 2-week guy, but I live here, so I can be picky. Plus, I'm part of Fat Track, which is the Folsom Auburn Trail Recreation Action Coalition. That's right, that's a mouthful. And in conjunction with the ASRA parks, state parks guys, we maintain all the trails up here, so we appreciate you looking out for the trails. It's just good for all of us. It's good for the community, so. Plus, we're going to have the Auburn Bike Park is getting close to being finished here. We're at the beginning of March 2020, and we're going to be looking at having that available to us. It's a beautiful thing. This is where we're getting into the single track section. It's pretty technical. You're definitely going to want to be aware if you're running up on hikers and baby strollers and dogs. You definitely want to call out, give room, just give space. You don't want people falling down. It's a pretty big roll down the hill, unnecessary roll down the hill. Besides, this isn't really where the fun starts. This is just kind of the, hi, good morning. This is kind of the bike ride before the bike ride, if you know what I mean. Getting the legs warm. Conversations going. Everybody's figuring out how much effort they want to put out today. Who's gonna win the race up to the top of the hill, and who's just waiting for that downhill. That's me. I'm just waiting for the downhill. Although, I love climbing. Coming up here on a local swimming hole. It's called Clark's Swimming Hole. You can see the bridge. We just passed the bridge. It's coming up here on the left in about 100 yards or so. Right before the climb starts going up, there's a beautiful, great place to teach your kids how to dive or learn yourself. It's never too late to learn how to dive. It's a little rock here. Goes from about 0 to about 8 feet tall off of the water, and super fun. It's a great place to just recreate. So there's Clark's right there. We'll show you a picture of it. And then this is where the trail starts heading up, and you got about a 4-mile climb. Should take you anywhere between 20 minutes and an hour, depending on what your fitness is. So yeah, we'll see you up at Fuel Break, up at the next spot. Actually, we'll meet you up at the road, because this meets up at the Clementine Road, where the Clementine Dam is, and we don't want you going left there, although it is beautiful. If you just want to get straight to Fuel Break and get the Confluence ride going, we'll show you up there. So just keep going and enjoy this climb. Don't forget to look to your left, because it's absolutely gorgeous. We call that the Liquid Jade. And we'll see you up at the Clementine Dam Gate. All right, good job. We just finished the Clementine dirt climb, and we've got a little bit ways to go up here on the road. We'll be crossing through the gate right here. and jump up on the asphalt. If you look to the left up here, that's where it'll take you down to the Clementine Dam. And it's beautiful, powerful, absolutely a must see if you're coming up to Auburn. Right over here, Lake Clementine. You can stand up paddleboard, go fishing, wakeboarding, sunbathing. It's beautiful. It's a great hike. But if you're here to do what we're here to do and ride mountain bikes and go up to the fuel break gate, then you're just going to stay here on the road and power up this climb. It's about a 4-mile climb total. I think you got about 2.5 from this point. It's about 1,000 feet of climbing. So pace yourself or get your intervals on if you're doing training. This hill's really good for intervals. But either way, we'll see you up at fuel break. All right, good job, spokespeople. We are finishing the asphalt portion of the climb up here to fuel break. And fuel break is one of the confluences for several different trails. We got Shortcut, which will take you down to the Mammoth Bar OHV Park. We have the trailhead for Connector over here on the left. You got a little porta potty right here, makes it nice and easy for you all if you want to get prepared. And then we have 2 short little climbs here on the dirt as we turn right to go up to the top where Hangman's Tree is. And since we're heading up the tree right now, getting ready for the downhill, let's talk about optimal bike setup. All right, good job, folks. We made it up the hill and we are here at Hangman's Tree. This is the last spot on the climb before we start descending. So as we talked about down in fuel break, we're going to talk about bike setup. Bike setup up here in Auburn is essential, especially for this trail. This trail is a lot of really, really fast, high-speed, chattering bumps and rocks. The rocks are all facing the wrong way. They're all facing at you. And so what that means is flat tires. If you're coming up here from the Bay Area or you're coming down from Tahoe and you're not used to North Star, the rocks here are really going to catch you off guard. One of the most important things that you get up here is your tires and your tire pressure. The best tire choice up here is going to be like an enduro size casing, not necessarily a downhill casing. That's a little bit overkill, but at least an enduro casing, which is like a double ply. You're going to see that on pretty much any good tire manufacturer is going to have like a dual ply enduro style casing. And what that's going to do is it's just going to give you more support in the sidewall, and it's going to protect your tire from pinching and damaging your rims and getting flat tires and burping. So the other thing is tire pressure. Tire pressure, generally I'm about 200 pounds all padded up, and I run 25 in the front, 25 pounds in the front, and I run 30 in the rear. And I ride up here about 2 or 3 days a week, and I think I've gotten like 3 or 4 flats in the last 10 years. So you're going to want to work with that. You're going to want to figure out what works for you. And we're going to have that available on the site as well. Good tire pressure recommendations, good tire recommendations. So look for that on the TrailGuide website or on the app. Just click on tires, tire bike setup recommendations. The other thing up here is full suspension is going to be really beneficial on about half of the trails. You can ride hardtails on the other half of the trails and short travel bikes. But a mid-travel 130 to 150 bike is going to be ideal for riding up here. Rebound is going to be from middle to fast just because of all the chattering and the bumps, but also because there's not a bunch of huge jumps and drops up here, so you're not going to need to slow your rebound down for stunts and keeping it from bucking you over the bars. I think that's for the most part that's that's the basic bike setup for up here. If you have any other questions, you can email us or DM us, and we'll get back to you within generally about 48 hours on setup recommendations for any areas. Also, like I said, look on the TrailGuide app and website for bike setup answers, frequently asked questions, and we're going to get geared up here and do a little POV of the Clementine Culvert loop, the whole reason you're here, and show you some of the lines down this crown jewel of Auburn State Recreation Area. All right, we'll see you soon. Okay, all the climbing is done, bike setup is ready to rock, and we are ready to roll. This is the Confluence Culvert Trail. You! Lots of little fun jibbers all the way down the trail. You're gonna make a left right here. Little speed jump. We like to death grip this trail, but it just rained yesterday a little bit, so it's kind of clay up here, so it'll get slick. You kind of gotta watch that. When it's dry and fast and loose up here, it is really, really, really fast and really, really fun and really, really loose. Good times. These corners will get you caught out. You can see a lot of the berms here blowed up. Speed bumps. Really, really fun riding. Lots of flow to this trail. Ride her up. Ride her up. Thank you so much. Lots of trail work on this trail. This is the Culvert. Never fun going through here. Always a little scary, always wondering if folks are gonna put rocks out or logs or sabotage. Gets a little scary. I always have my little victory chant. But it's a really fun trail. Beautiful green everywhere right now. Absolutely gorgeous. The trail has changed a lot over the years. It continues to change a lot. You can always find jumps, but they're not super big. Everything is very progressive and fun up here. Somebody took out the rock garden. Wow. Somebody sanitized these trails. That's too bad. Super fun little rock line choices here. What's up, guys? Got a big rock garden coming up here. Few line choices there. Coming to the end of Culvert. A little jump here. Last couple of corners. Drop right here. All right, coming in the last couple of corners. Really fun. And that is the end of Culvert. Now we drop down here into the Mammoth Bar area for the Confluence Trail. All right, so after we've crossed the road from Culvert, we're gonna drop into the Confluence section of the trail. Confluence is an old fire road that has kind of become a single track over the years, just from stuff eroding and coming away from the trail. You'll see a lot of exposure on it, especially towards the end. There's some pretty severe drop-offs into the water, so you're going to want to be wary. We'll talk about it as we get closer. Entry into Confluence right here has a couple different options. You've got a road option, little road gap right here. Got jumps all the way down, or you've got fast lines all the way down. Pretty fun little trail. You always got to watch out for hikers and dogs and stuff coming up. Hey, how you doing? Like I spoke about in bike setup, you see a lot of the high-speed shatter, loose rocks. There's a lot of really big jumps on this. Some fun features. Today we're just going to show you some of the main lines, some of the fun stuff, keep you safe. You can go to our premium trail guide, and that'll show some of the optional lines, how to hit them, give you options for line choice and for trick. Do you jump it? Do you roll it? Do you manual it? And it'll kind of compare lines, for racers versus for funsies. Yew! This section right here with the waterfall. There's a big jump right here to the left. There's another one coming up here. It's a little step up right here. Then you got a big ravine gap coming right here. Several of those all the way down the trail. There's some step ups, little fun sections. We'll do those again. On the TrailGuide Premium, you can look at those lines and get an estimate for speed, etc. All right. Up here, there's a little ravine gap. It's pretty small. It's about a bike length. A little lip there now. Some little jumps all over the trail. During the weekday is the best time to come up here and really try to get fast runs. The weekend, this place is packed. So always got to watch out for dogs and families bringing their coolers and stuff walking up this trail. A couple line options here. Taking the high line. We're going to try to pump and get over those rocks. We got a big rock garden here, little pop over here, get up that hill. That's a fun one when you get that down. Everything we talked about bike setup earlier, this is really where you're gonna see the tire choice, tire pressure is gonna really matter. Faster you go, the rowdier it is. Pretty fun though. Lots of lines here. All right, now we're getting towards the end where all that dangerous exposure is. Absolutely beautiful for hiking. Deadly if you fall, so just be careful here. You can see straight down to the water. We have had some folks go off the cliffs here, especially off this single right here. Just want to scrub your speed and not go off of that. And once you're past that, it's pretty tame all the way to the end. And that's the Confluence Trail. Culvert Confluence Loop's about 7.1 miles, around 1,200 feet of climbing. Good mixed bag of flowy single track with some rocky chunder and a little bit of climbing here and there, but for the most part, good solid descent. Here we are, the bathrooms back at the Confluence, where it all started. Now it's time to go get a mountain bike soda or beer. Go enjoy all the amenities that this beautiful town of Auburn has to offer. We'll show you some of the spots we like to visit in our amenities section. Hey guys, go look for restaurants, coffee, breweries. It's all here. We've given you the knowledge and a little bit of wisdom. This is Heath Sherritt with TrailGuide, signing off and encouraging you to go and explore your world. All right, that was awesome. We just did the Clementine Culvert Confluence Loop, and we had a great time showing you. Hopefully you got a lot out of that. We've enjoyed taking you through some of the areas of Auburn. Obviously, check out all the other trails up here. There's over 80 miles of groomed single track and gnarly, rough, rugged, raw stuff. Get out and explore. This place is so worth your time. Just look at this feat of man-made insanity and then juxtaposition with all that Mother Nature has to offer. This place is awesome. We love coming to Auburn. And we'll be taking you to lots of other places through TrailGuide, giving you a little bit of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. This is Heath Sherritt with TrailGuide, urging you to get out and explore your world. Till next time, see you then.